Good morning. Today is Thursday, February 15, 2024, and we are here for a work session. And as we do at all our work sessions, we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Victoria, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure, thank you so much. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Victoria. Okay, I have four announcements today before we get started with our work session. The first one is I want to send some thanks out to the men and women at the Riverhead Highway Department and our building and grounds crew. With the with the winter storm Lorraine that dumped some snow on us. Finally, we had snow this year. But it was a messy, wet, heavy snow, and they did a fantastic job with the roads and all the town properties and everything else, and we really appreciate the work they do working in adverse conditions like that. I like to brag and say we have the best highway department and B&G people around, so I don't think anybody's going to argue with me. So we appreciate all your work, fellas and ladies, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Number two, we have... You may have noticed that on today's agenda, we have discussions regarding monthly reports from Justice Court and Code Enforcement, along with our Police Department report. I thought it would be helpful and informative for the public to have an opportunity to be informed about activity levels and trends in Justice Court and Code. I've asked these three departments to plan on presenting a work session each month at the work session on the third Thursday of the month. So every third Thursday, we will have these reports presented to us along with Chief Hagemiller's police reports. It just lets the public know a little bit more about what's going on and the work that our fine staff is doing. So it's another way of letting the public in on what's going on inside this building. I also intend to introduce, and I haven't mentioned it to my board members yet, that on one of these meetings every month too, we're going to do committee reports. So everybody who's on a committee will have a report from the committee to present at one of our work sessions, probably the last Thursday of the month is where we'll fit that in. And I know we're just getting up, we've changed who the liaisons are, and you're just getting acclimated to your committees now. So by the end of March, we should be able to have something that you guys can all report on, myself included. And again, let the public know what's going on with the committees and what's happening. So that we will be doing also. Note number 3, there will be no work session taking place next week, February 22nd, due to the Wednesday evening town board meeting on February 21st. Monday's a holiday, so the town board meeting next week is on Wednesday. Next work session after today will take place on February 29th. So no work session next Thursday. We have a town board meeting on the 21st, which is next Wednesday. And this is, I want everybody to perk up and listen to this one. This one's pretty important. After review with various representatives from the farming community, staff members, and after consultation with my fellow board members, we have unanimously agreed to cancel and reschedule the agritourism public hearing scheduled for February 21st at 6:05. It is our intention to revisit the subject of agritourism at a future work session. We feel the code changes regarding agritourism previously published need changes beyond those which can be made without republishing. Thereafter, we can republish and post for public hearing. Once again, the public hearing for agritourism previously scheduled for February 21st has been canceled. It will be rescheduled in the near future. February 21st, agritourism public hearing canceled. Okay, I know a lot of people are interested in coming out to speak on that, and I don't want them to waste their time coming here if that's not going to be on the docket, which it is not going to be. Okay, we have 4 matters of discussion for work session, and we have 2 matters for executive session. Discussion item number 1 is police, matters surrounding the monthly report. Chief Hagemiller, if you would please come up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sir. Okay, everyone should have their January monthly report. And things are good. I think the important numbers are down, which are good. Calls received are down. Domestic incidents went back up last month. Motor vehicles are way up. Motor vehicle accidents are way up. DIA strikes are about the same for motor vehicle accidents. Summonses issued went down slightly. Arraignments are up. Arrest by number is up. Arrest by subject is up. So just to go over that and clarify it a little. Arrest by number, since we are now reporting it differently to the state, we have to report every charge. So what you see there is charges, actually. So there's 151 charges for January. Arrest by subjects are the number of people we brought in for processing. So someone can have multiple charges. Some arrests have only one charge, so that's why the numbers are different. So I think I'm going to change arrest by numbers to charges in the future to maybe clarify that a little better.
Okay.
Incidents are criminal incidents are down, along with non-criminal incidents are down. Revenues are up slightly, and arrest by sector just reflects arrest by number. So that's the same.
So Riverhead safer.
Yes, Riverhead safer, correct. We're on a trend.
Question about the domestic incidents. How many out of those are repeat offenders?
That I don't know off the top of my head. I could try to look at that and see if we can come up with a number. As I've said before, you can have domestic over in Southampton and be arrested over there, and you could have one over here, and we wouldn't know that the subject is the same. So, in the future, that might change, which is another thing I was going to talk about. Niche, which is our new records management system that the county is rolling out. So all of us will be on the same records management system, which might enable us to see what's going on in Southampton, live actually, which is a good thing. Hopefully, that's been a delayed project. Hopefully, we're thinking maybe April or May we'll be live with that. And then followed by, it won't be the whole program will be live. Arrest processing will probably only come in around July on the new records management system. So, but that is good news because it's been a long time coming. So,
You said niche,
Niche.
N-I-C-H-E?
yeah. It was, so the county's going to be the hub, and we're all going to be spokes off the hub. So we're all going to be sharing data in real time. So that's a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Yeah. But the only ones that are not going on right away are East Hampton Town and East Hampton Village.
They don't have crime out there, though. They need to come to Riverhead to be trained for crime.
Chief, can I ask a question
Sure.
with regard to the niche system? Does that mean, like, if you have Ebola, everybody will be captured?
Everyone will
Excellent.
know it, right? And
Excellent.
warrants too. They're going to put warrants in there too. So it'll be-
Excellent.
That's great.
That's a long time coming.
Yeah, right.
That's just for the public. Ebola is be on the lookout for. If the police department has someone that they want, you're now tied in to the whole county system? Excellent.
I've always said that if you knew back then what you know now, you would have definitely developed it
Done this a
differently,
long
right?
time ago. Yeah,
So.
that's great.
Also, good news, we have the tests are out, the test results from the police officer test.
Finally,
List
yes.
was finally established and posted yesterday, and I think it's good news.
It
on
is
that.
good
So,
news.
a lot of our part-timers did very well, so.
Yes, they did. And I have to say this again, I've said it before, if you want to become a police officer, the best thing you can do is become a part-time police officer, get your feet wet in the type of work to make sure that that's what you do want to do, but it also gives our police department, it gives you a great idea, a gauge of how that person is going to be as a full-time police officer should the opportunity come to hire them full-time. So I highly recommend anybody thinking about law enforcement that they do that. You have to go to the academy on your own time, and you don't get paid, but it's well worth it. It is well worth it.
We had a lot come through the door.
Yes.
Doing that. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good thing. Another good thing was overtime. I looked at that for the last few years, and actually, the good news is it's down. So almost down to where it was in 2020, which is good.
That is
It went up very high in COVID year 21. Year after COVID, 21 it was high, and it's worked its way down in 22, and now down again in 23, so.
There's also a
That's
goal,
good.
though, by hiring more police officers, that will
Yes,
keep the overtime down.
direct correlation between staffing and overtime, no
Mhm.
doubt about it.
And we just gotta beef up our dispatchers a little bit more. We're still looking for more dispatchers and,
We're getting there, hopefully next town board meeting we'll hire 2,
good.
hopefully.
We still got
We're
some
still
more to
working
go.
on one, PSD has a stipulation, so we're still working on that, but hopefully
Okay.
that'll be in the packet. And then there's another one in the hopper, we're just waiting on her psych eval, and hopefully we'll be able to hire her
Sure.
shortly. And then just 3 after that, and we'll be in good shape.
Right. I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again, and I'm not prejudiced about it because I work there. It's the honest to God truth. I think it's the best department on the East End and maybe even in Suffolk County. So our closure rate on cases is incredible. That people I don't think about that or realize that, but when you read the headlines of this vicious whatever happened, shortly after that, it's followed by a headline that the arrest was made. So closure rate is very, very important in law enforcement, and Riverhead does a spectacular job with that.
And the DA is having a press release, I think at 11, press conference at 11 o'clock this morning about a gang that he's taken down. I have it on my phone.
Awesome.
Blood something gang taken down, 103 indictments.
Okay.
I think about 30-something people were arrested. Good news is there was 3 cases in Riverhead that they helped us solve, so.
Great.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, no, great working together with them,
Yeah.
so.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right, Chief.
Well, good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate it. Okay, next up, we have Justice Court, matters surrounding the monthly report, and we have Counselor Howard and Counselor Saru.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I see you have my artwork.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I figured since this is the first of its kind, I would give a little background on the cases that I cover and the work that I do in the court. We're coming off the tails of the chief giving us stats about arrests. So that's kind of why I created that Venn diagram to show that the police chief, those cases are prosecuted by the district attorney's office. All those other bubbles are me, and
Right.
that's through code officers. There's a little bit of overlap, which is the quality of life, but for the most part, those stats are handled by the DA's office. So just for the board's information, the public's information, we have parking first. Parking is every first and second Monday of the month, depending on the judge, and barring any holidays. So the update for January for parking, I have just a little update is in the first couple of weeks of January, the parking passes, there was a lag in getting them. So there was a memo that went out from rec to PD and parking, just to let them know to give a 1-month grace period.
Right.
And not to issue any tickets for any parking on beach. Now we're in February, so we're back to business as usual.
Good.
So next I'll move on to the town code calendar, which is every Tuesday of every month. So convictions for the month of January, so I moved them into different categories. I have neighborhood preservation, which is litter on property, COs, BPs, RPs, building permits, rental permits. We had 13 convictions on those. For the fire marshal, we had 5 convictions on those. And for quality of life, your open alcohols, your public urinations, things like that, we had 19 on those. So the total amount of convictions we had for the Justice Court is 59. As the chief had mentioned, he was going to do arrest number versus charges. I did it by charges. Anything that an individual says the word guilty to is the number that I'm going to be using.
Okay.
So another thing is that these fines that I'm about to disclose doesn't necessarily mean that the defendant is paying the fine that day.
Could be a payment plan.
Right, payment plan, sometimes it goes in, into judgment if the individual is unable to pay it. So this month, $8,250 was brought in by people who came to court, pled guilty, and were given a fine. $2,500 was a default judgment, and $5,250 was a major disposition we had on the Loro case. So it gave us a grand total of $16,000. So that's kind of the stats that I thought were helpful. It's the first meeting, so if anyone has any ideas, any more specific questions they have for me for next month, I'm happy to take them down.
We just get a copy of your chart,
Sure.
so quick we have it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have this.
Oh, you don't have it in your copy?
I have a few.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
This is great. This just helps people understand how it works, what's going on, and the number of cases that are coming in. Because, you know, so often it's like, well, nobody ever does anything. Well, that's not quite true.
Right.
And this shows exactly what that is, so.
Yeah, so I made it for myself, and then I figured, why not share
Right,
it
absolutely.
for those who might find it helpful.
That's great.
So,
That is great. Appreciate it.
So can we say that it's, the legislation that we did last year, the quality of life issues are coming to fruition and
Yes.
and we're cleaning up downtown, right?
Yes. For
Yeah,
those who, sorry,
sorry, no, you
for
go
those
ahead.
who come to court. Now, also another thing is, these are just stats for people who actually come to court and handle their cases.
I mean, people don't show up.
Yeah, so there's
Really?
a huge percentage that is not accounted for. If everyone showed up, obviously these numbers would be a lot.
But even so, it means that our police department are actively, taking,
Warrants, working with warrants.
Yeah.
and,
Absolutely.
Could you put that stat down next time, how many warrants are active on
Sure.
these cases?
Sure.
so,
What you said, I didn't hear what Denise said.
The stat for how many warrants are being issued and how many.
Okay.
How many are active on those
Arrests
cases?
are made on,
Good.
how many active warrants there are out there. Good.
And Victoria also responds to all of the calls when there's a return on a warrant. So anytime someone gets picked up, the justice court will call over and Victoria will either go over there, or I think sometimes it's still done remotely, correct?
Yeah, I would say 90% of the time I'm driving back and forth.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
is that after hours or just strictly during the day? Like,
Most during the day.
during the
Yeah.
day? Okay,
Yeah.
just curious if they hold and wait. Okay.
Not so much.
No?
No.
Do you have any questions?
No, I'm really glad to see the quality of life issues are being addressed. Our police department is doing an excellent job, and that was the whole goal. So we're on track.
I agree.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You have the warrant
Wait.
arrest number on that last page of the report.
Okay.
So we had 47 warrant arrests in January.
Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
So, if you don't show up in court, we come knocking on your door,
Excellent.
or your car,
Great work.
or wherever you are.
Chief, what sector is 601?
Downtown.
Oh, it is?
Roanoke Avenue to 58 to 25, 105. That's the bit. That's the sector you want to work when you're a young cop. That's the
Yeah.
action sector.
That's where
That and 605.
the warrant, 25 warrant arrests
Yeah.
in that sector.
Yeah.
That's great.
Very good. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good job.
That's great.
Victoria.
Good job.
you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Nice presentation.
Thank you.
It's really good for the public to see this as well.
It is.
You know, it really
Absolutely.
is great.
Thank you all so much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
rest of your
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have code enforcement, matters surrounding the monthly report. We'll have Investigator Downs come on up and Counselor Howard.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah, we do.
We haven't formally met.
Hi.
I'm Rich Downs.
Hi, nice to meet you,
I
Rich.
know you, I know you, I know Joanne.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Okay, code enforcement. All right, last year, we received and investigated over 750 complaints. We are projecting even more than that in 2024. Year to date, starting January 1st, we have received and are investigating approximately 79 complaints. I've taken the liberty to categorize these in the complaint types in your handouts, so you can see. And you can see the broad array of complaints that we handle.
It's okay.
So it's everything from animals to dogs, commercial litter, no building permits, drop-off bins, high grass, high weeds, unlawful apartments, illegal signs, illicit discharges, mobile homes, overcrowded housing, which is a hot topic. The property maintenance code, we do all the violations with respect to the property maintenance code in New York State. Site plan violations, transient rentals, unregistered vehicles, unsafe buildings, vehicles and parking, and rental verifications. There's a lot that we do. Out of the above investigations, we have collectively written and issued about approximately 38 tickets for this month. Keep in mind, this is not always our first course of action. We always strive to educate the residents about the codes in which they may be violating, and do offer amicable remedies to those individuals prior to writing them a ticket.
Right.
So,
So these are, a lot of this is people who've been spoken to previously, haven't complied for whatever reason, and now you're revisiting. So it's
Yeah.
almost twice the numbers, because you're listing like an incident as one, but you may have been there twice already or 3 times
correct.
to handle the case. So it really adds up over time, and people don't realize that.
Yep,
So-
correct. We also will issue an appearance ticket depending upon the severity of the violation also.
Mhm.
So in those cases, a lot of times we'll just issue the ticket. Okay. We continue to prioritize the life safety complaints, including the unsafe buildings, the overcrowded housing complaints, and houses without rental permits, over the general, less serious types of complaints.
Right. And one thing I talked about, Rich, was when the idea of adding another code enforcement officer would allow us to have somebody on the evening shift. So we need to work on that and set that up so we can arrange that and have a code enforcement officer. The evening shift, just so people understand, is probably the busiest shift for the police department, and they're more apt to be in houses and units where there are violations. And in the past, not having somebody on code working those hours, the police go in, they write it up, they forward it to you, and then you go back to the house and nobody lets you in the house, or they've cleared up so they knew you were coming. So this idea is, if we have somebody on during those hours, PD can contact them, they can come right down, they have entry to the house, and that can be dealt with immediately. And that's
Absolutely.
gonna help. And then eventually, we'd like to get into a scenario where we have somebody on call for the overnight for the same thing, should something come up. Because you're gonna get a lot more convictions and cases, obviously, if you're there firsthand, rather than trying to get back in at a later date and they decide they don't want you to come in, so,
Correct, yeah, absolutely.
awesome.
So with regard to the life safety type of complaints, we regularly meet with the town attorney and the deputy town attorney to discuss various plans and tactics to tackle these more serious types of complaints. We've developed the Overcrowded Housing Task Force Initiative, where we've outlined roles and responsibilities with respect to handling these types of complaints. We also further open the lines of communication with the police department, as Timmy just said, implementing direct contact persons for on-call emergency situations. So we have a couple of people that we've designated for now, just for on-call situations when there's a problem at night.
Right,
Until we can, effectively hire somebody
Right.
for that position.
which is forthcoming.
Yes.
Yes.
We also continue to take code referrals and statements from our patrol officers who observe obvious code violations during their tours. We transfer those statements in the form of affidavits to directly issue summonses. So if a police officer observes something while they're out and there's no code officer available, we'll take affidavits from those police officers and take the necessary steps to ensure compliance with the code. We continue to communicate serious infractions with the town attorney and deputy town attorney, discussing those properties which need any further actions outside of justice court. These would be Supreme Court actions. Some of these infractions include places where we may find occupancy of attics, unfinished basements, occupancy of accessory structures. Believe it or not, we found people in sheds. So, dangerous situations. That includes overcrowded housing and repeat offenders that have been already through the justice court. So,
I think it's important to educate the public on what it takes to get a conviction or get into court for an overcrowded house. People think because there's 12 garbage cans out on garbage can day, oh, that's an overcrowded house. Why isn't the town doing something about that? Well, you walk into court and say, hey, Judge, yeah, we wrote the ticket because they got 12 garbage cans out in front of the house on garbage pickup day. Judge is going to send you packing. There's a whole investigation that has to go into this. Not because there's 3 cable antennas on the roof, or not because there's 8 cars in the yard. That does nothing to get you into court or get you to where you can write a ticket and deal with this. There's a whole investigation, and you have to document this over time, that there are numerous cars in the yard, same cars over and over, overcrowded housing, same people, not just somebody up visiting for 2 weeks on vacation. There's a whole gamut of things that go into these investigations. And people just don't realize that. They think, well, you know, I called and nothing was done. That's not true. It takes a long time for these to come to fruition, and people just need to be patient and understand that. We wish it was faster. I know you
Yes,
certainly do.
I do.
But they have to realize what goes into this.
Yeah, a lot
And
goes into it.
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
does.
No,
It
you're
does.
right. And we also have to get inside, which is somewhat
Right.
problematic sometimes if
Absolutely.
you can't get inside. So then we're looking to get a search warrant in those cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the past, we've had instances where we've done, you know, early morning investigations and done surveillance to see, you know, people coming and going and establish that over a series of weeks, and then maybe also mix in some nighttime surveillance,
Yep.
done it that way. Obviously, the best and most effective way is we get someone there who will talk and say, you know, I'm the house manager for this property, and I take X amount of dollars from this person for this room, and X amount of dollars from these 2 people for this room, and then, you know, you have to sort of collate all that information and put it into a complaint. And so it does take a lot. It takes a lot of on-site investigation by code enforcement, and then meeting with the town attorney's office to craft the complaint.
Mr. Downs, do you have the ability to do video surveillance?
Not currently,
Okay.
no.
That's
Generally,
something that-
we refer that to the police department, the COPE unit, and they have done stuff for us in the
Okay,
past.
good.
Great
Yeah,
question.
and we have spoken with PD, you know, when officers are patrolling at night, if they see properties that seem like they could be overcrowded because there's excessive vehicles, they'll refer that to code enforcement, and we'll open it up as a, you know, as a potential investigation. And the code officers will, you know, throughout their day, take a look and see if they can establish or, you know, get anybody on site who will talk and let us know what's going on in the house.
Yeah, with that being said, we also have a couple of active confidential investigations ongoing, which I believe may result in a Supreme Court action moving forward, so.
Tell us about it.
We know how
Never
they,
disclose, open meeting. Rental inspections, we continue to perform rental inspections on property that are registered as rental properties. To date, we have over 1,500 rental properties in the town of Riverhead, which have to be inspected annually. This month, in addition to our complaint investigations, we have also inspected over 160 dwelling units just for this month. Rental permit fees, our fees for the month of January, we have taken in $20,575.
Do you compare those rentals to something like VRBO online where do you investigate to see?
Yes, so we do that. A lot of the VRBO listings actually have rental permits. The problem with that is, since our code doesn't allow for VRBOs under 29 days, which is a VRBO, we have to prove that. So we've had a little bit of some obstacles in court proving that. So it's a difficult task. Yeah. I'd be happy to talk to you about it afterwards if you.
it requires an
Yeah,
enormous
just-
amount of manpower
Yeah,
to,
in a general sense, the VRBO listing or the Airbnb listing alone isn't enough. Typically, you're gonna, you know, obviously the best evidence is to get someone who's there and will sign a sworn statement saying, I rented this on Airbnb for X amount of days for X amount of dollars. You know, the problem with that is a lot of times they're from out of state. Getting that person to come back and testify in a justice court setting is next to impossible. So that almost compels Supreme Court action. And once you're asking someone from Pennsylvania or New Jersey or whatever to sign an affidavit that might require them to come back and testify in Riverhead in 6 months, it's going to be difficult to get someone to do that.
I would suggest why don't we have undercovers do it here?
Well, and we've done that in the past.
I'll go undercover.
In order,
Rent another.
yeah, the hang up that we've had there is in order to do that, you have to complete a transaction.
Right.
And so it's a matter of having, a credit card to fund.
And a lot of money
And it's, typically you're talking
Maybe we could
about.
get a fund for that established. And from the fees the fines we'll get from these homes.
But
would
it could
be-
take a lengthy time to get your money back too, as well, right?
Yes.
You could be spending a lot of money on rentals to establish something, and time goes through court system a year before you get money back.
Correct.
So
Maybe the fines will pay for it though.
It could, and
Yeah.
I mean that's sort of an analysis that we've.
I'm just
grappled with.
suggesting, I'm just suggesting.
Sure. So, good suggestions. The properties that we're talking about, though, generally go for anywhere from 500 a night to 1,000 to 1,200 a night.
What are our fines currently?
Rental
First
permits,
offense.
first offense, 500 to 1,500. I think 1,500 to
They've recently
2,500,
been,
and 2,500 to 5,000.
They were a lot lower.
Well, and
Third
that's,
offense.
and that's a justice court fine.
Yeah.
If we go to Supreme Court, you can seek civil penalties.
Right.
So the cost of completing the transaction to establish the violation could be figured into the civil penalties that you seek. But again, to get to that point it requires a layout on the part of the town.
Just thought that maybe if a couple people got snagged and caught, maybe everybody else would be a little more reluctant to do it.
Yeah, and we were successful in shutting one down
Yeah.
on Overlook Drive with the assistance of PD in an undercover transaction, but it was they used cash.
And we have been successful in justice court on an array of them. It's just some of the ones, as of late, we have not been able to get good convictions. But we can certainly talk about that at whenever the board wants to.
Okay.
Executive session or something.
Well, I think all of us realize your caseload and how busy you people are. Just in comparison, roughly how many code enforcement officers does Southampton have?
I believe they have about 12,
That's what I was told.
12
Yes.
to 13 officers.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
comparison, you guys are carrying a heavy
5.
load here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're carrying
Carrying a heavy load. I
And in,
understand that.
and in
And they
fairness
have-
to
yes.
Investigator Downs, is that, we implemented legislation last year, to require his office to inspect all apartments in our town annually, which is essentially that task alone
doubled.
went from 2 year, we doubled your workload.
Mhm.
We made a commitment that we were going to hire more personnel, and we're in the process of doing that. I think it's, we're gonna grow your staff because it's necessary to keep our commitment when we wrote that legislation.
Absolutely.
We have,
Yeah.
I think we're scheduling interviews for
Yeah.
the new code enforcement officer,
Good.
not next week, but the following week.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I'm glad that we're having this conversation because I think that it's very important that the residents understand the process of what has to happen. Everybody gets kind of, the perception is, oh, nobody's doing anything because it's not done overnight. And to
Yeah.
have the knowledge of what it takes to go from point A to closing it out, that's really good conversation, so.
Yeah, great. And a lot of the residents, they don't understand that sometimes when we go to a house, we'll issue tickets, and they don't always know that. So sometimes we'll get the call and they can foil the information, but I don't know who I'm talking to on the other end, so sometimes I can't give out that information. But certainly if somebody came down and I knew who they were and they were the complainant, I can advise them that we've issued tickets. And sometimes that has to run its course through justice court, and they don't know that, so it takes time. But eventually, you know, the problem gets remediated, so.
How many employees are able to speak Spanish fluently?
We have currently 3 Spanish-speaking code enforcement officers, who are fluent. Yep.
And we're in the process of beefing up your office too and clerical help. too,
Yes,
Because it's been
we have
very difficult for the past few months,
Yes, so yeah,
shortages.
we had a full-time clerical person resign in October, so we've been short. So everybody, all the officers have been picking up the slack with the foils, the violation searches, the phone calls, the rental applications, the rental renewals. So everybody's taking on a little bit, trying to pitch in and help. But yeah, we're looking to try to get that position filled.
Yes, that's something we have to do quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got the title approved through civil service for a senior office assistant. We looked at the town list, and we didn't have any responses on that, so we are canvassing the county list.
Perfect,
And
okay.
we should be able to schedule those interviews also within the next couple weeks.
More about the importance for the general public to take civil service tests. There are jobs available, there are good jobs available, take the test.
Take the test, yep. We will finally be coming online with the new interactive rental property public portal called OpenGov. Some of you are familiar with it, some of you probably aren't. This is an online platform for the general public to be able to apply for rental permits. They can pay their fees online. They could submit their documents online. It goes electronically to us. We can review them real time. We can send out correspondences real time. They can schedule their inspections online. This is a long time in the works, and Councilman Kern has been diligently working with us to get this done. I'm hoping to be live in March. March 1st is my date. So hopefully, starting March, the public will be on OpenGov and will be submitting their applications online.
That will be a huge difference.
Yeah.
Long time coming, great job, Bob.
Yeah, a long time.
Bringing us into the 21st century, are you?
We're trying with Chip and the IT team, yeah,
Awesome,
and Jason Blizzard.
very good.
We continue to work with the Code Revision Committee in the betterment of producing new codes and updating our existing code. As being part of the Code Enforcement Committee myself, I'm often gathering intel from our officers to try to figure out what needs to be changed, or, you know, do we need any new codes? Not roosters.
Yeah, not roosters, no roosters.
Stay
Absolutely.
away from that one. In closing, we continue to welcome any new complaints, and we'll continue to investigate each and every one regardless of the severity. My door is always open. I continue to work closely with Councilman Rothwell, our code enforcement liaison, and welcome any other town board members who may have questions, suggestions, and or other needs.
Very good. And so the public knows also, they can file a complaint online anonymously, correct?
They can.
Okay.
Yes, currently, yes.
Good.
Yep.
Well, this was great. Rich, thank you so much. You put a lot of information together here, and I hate taking time from your day to have you
It's
do
fine.
this.
Yep.
But I think the benefit of the public having a better idea of what our code enforcement officers are doing is beneficial for everybody, so.
Sure.
We appreciate it. And the updates, I mean, we love to hear them and see them too, so,
Yeah, it's a great thing.
absolutely.
No, thank you.
Thank you for the time.
Excellent, thank you so much.
Get back to your interviews.
Yes.
Bye, Rich.
Okay, discussion number 4, and it's our last discussion item for the open session. It's matters surrounding possible replacement of a town-wide telephone system. Counselor Howard, Mr. Rothar, and Mr. Kremborg, come on up.
Can we, before we even start, publicly commend the entire IT department over the snowstorm? You notice they were putting up on live TV all the current warnings and updated notices of town hall closures and stuff like that. So he advanced in a whole new avenue for notifications to the public, which was really great.
The red
We
strip
got our ticket
across the
taper now.
top. Nice,
Just waiting
nice.
for stock quotes to be on there soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Did a great job.
Bill, are
The
we
entire
publicly
team.
trading the town of Riverhead stock?
No, we're not.
Okay, gentlemen, if you want to lead off with this.
Okay. So, I have done some research to modernize our phone system. I've done some preliminary analysis about some options to go to a cloud-based VoIP phone solution. The reason I am looking into that, I should talk into the mic.
Yeah.
I should know that.
Aren't these your signs? Right, aren't these your signs?
Just lean. Don't touch it?
Yeah.
That's what you said.
We've been waiting to do this.
So, the current phone system is a little over 4 years old. There's nothing wrong with 4 years old in normal circumstances, but what I've found with our phone system is that we have essentially a single point of failure, which I'm a little concerned about. And with our IT infrastructure, I strive to have redundancy all the time. That being said, our phone system can impact our computer system occasionally. So,
Canon does.
okay,
Yes.
so it's being gentle there. So to that end, I'd like to investigate cloud VoIP solutions to essentially remove our phone system from our network, put it on the internet, and that would alleviate any impact to the computers. The phone systems would essentially never fail, assuming the internet's still alive, which generally speaking it is. If we move the phone systems to the cloud, we could have lights out here in the town of Riverhead, and for those employees, department heads and such, and essential employees could still have their office extension on a mobile device or a laptop or anything that can access the internet. So it would be a huge benefit for operations in emergencies. It would be to say the least, during emergencies, but even during normal operations, I think there could be a big benefit. So I've done some preliminary research, and I think we could do this for little to no impact, and even if there was some financial impact, the benefits would greatly,
And from what I understand, even with the financial impact, a couple of years from now, that would be recouped.
absolutely.
And we'd probably be ahead of the game.
I think we
So
would.
that's very nice to hear.
Yes, and the features, I'll let Chip explain some of them. The features allow so much more than we have now, from getting phone calls on a cell phone that's coming into the office, and vice versa, being able to call out from the cell phone. It's an app on the phone, so it wouldn't be another phone that we need, another cell phone that we have to pay for employees. So there's
Right.
and then there's other major features that Chip can go over some of them that would, the board would probably be interested in.
It's a long, boring list, maybe, of technology features that you could realize. Everything, of course, is cloud-based, and you can imagine how exhaustive this list would be. But the web conferencing is all built in, phone calls from your laptop, just extreme portability, scalability, and reliability.
And reliability is
Yeah.
very important. The
Uh,
fact that it's not tied into the computers is huge,
Mhm.
because it does happen where the phones go down and then the computers are down because
Mhm.
the phones are down. And you're kind of dead in the water at that point in time when you're trying to do town business.
Yeah.
So it makes it difficult. Going to cloud-based, I think, makes the most sense. It
Okay.
really does.
Chip, when you're talking about our phones here in Town Hall, is a presumption that also includes Justice Court and the Police Department as well? Are they different?
Justice Court is the same, so all of the municipal phones. Police Department does have part of their own phone system. This would not impact that whatsoever. There's a
Okay.
portion of that I've already spoken with Motorola about, and they're totally on board with any conversion and assisting us.
Okay.
So there'd be no impact to police.
And when, just because I have experience with my personal business, we do, Optimum does go down quite often on the west end of town. But you're able, I presume, from any other location, presumably from your home on a laptop, can you redirect phones and so forth? So if we had an emergency storm, emergency situation, a hurricane hits or something like that, can you sit at any location where there is Wi-Fi and access it online and
Yes.
redirect the phones to where they can be answered at an emergency call center? Like if Town Hall was shut down and we were solely operating out of the senior center in Aquabog, can we forward the phones so that like the supervisor could be answering his phone, highway department could be answering in a central location?
Precisely, and you're not actually forwarding them, there's no proactive, thing you have to do to forward them, they're already on. So you could have your desk phone in your office, you could have an app on your iPhone, whatever, and wherever you go, it's already on. If an emergency happens and you didn't have the app yet, or you had never signed in, it's super quick and easy to put the app on the laptop and, as you said,
So even,
redirect it.
so even with anybody's personal cell phone, even, I could go through AT&T and access my account, is what
Yes.
you're saying.
You could use your personal
it.
phone.
Good, excellent.
And the good thing about, even with the personal phones, it's an app that's on your personal phone. All the data from that phone usage is just in the cloud.
Yeah.
So the moment you remove the app from your personal phone, there's nothing left on your personal phone. You've never used your own phone system on your personal device.
Yeah.
Um,
Excellent.
yeah.
I like,
Does that work with our current phones, like this phone would stay the same, or does it,
Those physical desk phones would be replaced,
they would?
yes.
How much is this price package worth?
Well, let's
We'll have to see
go
what
to
the
bid.
Yeah, we
bids
have to
come
go
in
out to bid.
at.
Have to go out to bid
Mhm.
and see, and, but from early prices that we've received, it looks like there can potentially be a savings, which is nice,
Excellent.
and for better service,
Yes,
which you usually don't get.
That's the key.
So,
yeah.
absolutely.
And there will be a savings in the first 3 to 5 years, even if the first year there isn't. Because typically because those have to be replaced. Once they're
Right.
replaced, you're saving money from years 2 to 5. And depending on how the bids come in, when we go out and do a bid on these, you could have savings in the first year.
Wherever the financial administrator travels, he's available all the time.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
Excellent.
We are really moving forward today.
Another step into the 21st century.
Yeah,
Huh, Chip?
very true.
Getting into the
Getting out of
90s.
the 1980s. Great.
Well, thank you, gentlemen,
Very good.
so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you want my pager back?
You have a clear one so you can see who's
Has
calling
it
you?
got, has it gone off at all?
Okay, that concludes our open discussion during work session. In a moment, I'm going to make a motion that we go into executive session. I just wanted to momentarily take a moment out to recognize the staff in the supervisor's office. The work that they do for me is incredible. The transition from councilman to supervisor is a huge step, and it was seamless with the staff that I have. I'm not as good as I may look sometimes up here. They make me look this good, okay? And I appreciate everything they do. They put a lot of stuff together. Their minds are always thinking, and we have a great working relationship with the rest of the board and the department heads and everything else. And I have to say, things are going really well here in Town Hall, and a lot of that is because of my staff in my office. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, and keep up the good work. Before we go to executive session, we do have resolutions to do.
We'll have a quick chat about some
sorry about that.
resolutions, I think.
Yes.
Thank you for the kind words, but certainly it's a team effort, and you're leading the charge, so we thank you for that.
Thank you.
The board is ready.
We are ready.
Okay, resolution number 1 appoints a PSD1 in the police department.
This is a PSD that used to work for us, retired, left, and he left, and then decided to come back. And we are in dire need of dispatchers, so that'll be great to have him. He'll hit the ground running, no training necessary,
That's right.
and
We're happy to
that's a
have him
big
back.
plus for us.
Resolution number 2, authorization for the town board to support Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney's public campaign and efforts to change New York state laws relating to fentanyl.
This is something through the supervisors meeting of all the Suffolk County supervisors. District Attorney Tierney asked all of us to come out and support this bill that he's looking to put forward regarding fentanyl. Fentanyl, as we know, is a extremely deadly drug, and the current status of it on the schedule of drugs and in terms of getting convictions require you to have a fairly an amount to kill one person. You still get released. You would walk right out if you were in possession of that much, that little amount. So they're looking to change this on the state level and make it that smaller amount now, you're gonna have to, bail's gonna be required. So this is just something that we are signing. We're gonna pass the resolution hopefully Wednesday at the meeting, and it's in conjunction with what the district attorney's doing, and we're gonna support that all the way up to New York State to get that changed. Same with the next one when you read it, same thing, but it's on a different topic. It's deadly driving bills, and it has to do with drug involvement while driving a vehicle. So this again needs to be changed and brought up to date, and that's what that's what this is doing, and we're gonna work with the county, the attorney for the county, and make this happen, so.
And the other townships in Suffolk County are following
All the
suit
other
as well.
townships are doing the same thing, they're signing on board and
Right.
doing their own resolutions of support.
Okay, so we'll jump then to Resolution 4. And just to point out, we probably should have just changed the sequence a little bit. This is sort of happening in tandem with Resolution number 39 in the packet. So I think it might be helpful if we just pause and talk about number 4 later when we get to number 39.
Okay,
Just make
perfect.
a little more sense for
Yep.
everybody at home. Resolution number 5, adopts a local law to amend procurement policy pursuant to general municipal law.
We talked about this last week.
Resolution number 6, Recreation Project 82322 Horton Avenue Basketball Court closure. We have several of these closures coming up here in the next resolutions. Resolution number 7, Recreation Project number 72324 Stotsky Park Walkway closure.
Closures basically mean that the project is done, and if there's money left over in the account, if it was done for under the amount that was anticipated, the money gets put back into the accounts it came from. That's basically what closures
That's
are.
essentially what we're doing, right. Resolution number 8, Recreation Project 72307 Parking Lot at Veterans Memorial Park closure. Number 9, Recreation Project 72216 Stotsky Park Tennis Courts closure. Number 10, Recreation Project 72119 Sound Avenue Preserve closure. Number 11, Water Capital Project number 82055 Plant 10 Storage Tank Rehab closure. Number 12, Water Capital Project number 81953 Plant 4 Rehab closure. Number 13, Public Parking District Capital Project number 52104 closure. Number 14, Water Capital Project number 81851, USGS Test Wells Budget Adjustment. Number 15, 912 West Main Street Sewer District Capital Project. Number 16, authorizes the supervisor to execute an extension of license agreement and addendum with Island Exterior Fabricators.
This is a license agreement we have with Island Exterior Fabricators up at the Upcal property where they are storing some of their product on our property. And Councilman Kern brought this to our attention a while back, and we contacted them and were able to get revenue from them using our property. So this is just an extension of that license agreement.
Number 17, ratifies authorization for the supervisor to execute a stipulation with an employee. Number 18, adopts a local law to amend Chapter 289 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Vehicles, Traffic, and Parking Regulations.
This is regarding the parking of private cars in publicly accessed, privately owned lots.
Right.
We discussed about how tow trucks were coming and towing, and signage wasn't up properly and that, and this will bring all that and make it a much clearer code to have and easier for people to realize they should or shouldn't be parking
Right.
long-term in those parking areas.
And it will trigger a report that they'll have to file with PD, so that
Yes.
folks can obtain that if they need to. Number 19, accepts the resignation of an automotive equipment operator. Number 20, appoints a call-in recreation aide to the Recreation Department. Number 21, authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with the Nassau County Police Activity League Lacrosse Unit for referee and umpire services and team fees for Town of Riverhead Police Athletic League Boys Lacrosse Program, grades K through 8 for 2024 calendar year.
This allows payment to the referees that are used in our PAL program for boys lacrosse.
Number 22, appoints a part-time court officer to the police department. Number 23, reappoints an automotive equipment operator.
We had an employee that left the highway department and went to work for greener pastures to find out that they were browner pastures, and the greener pastures are actually here in Riverhead, so he's coming back to work for us.
That's about
in
right.
Riverhead, so.
And just a quick typographical, we just need to add an N to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whereas that was pointed out to us this
Oh.
morning, so we'll take care of that as well.
Town of Riverhead, yes.
Number 24, approves a salary increase for a call-in food service worker. Number 25, ratifies the termination of an interpreter. Number 26, authorization for town employees to attend training.
So two of our fire marshals are heading out to New Mexico for training, and what's nice about it is FEMA pays 100% of this training, including airfare and hotel. So it's not costing the town anything, but we're going to get two of our fire marshals, and I believe it's prevention and response to suicide bombing incidents. And it's important to have nowadays. So the fact that it's free is even better. And I know our guys will pick up a lot of information out there. We'll be glad to have them
That's right.
attend that.
Number 27, ratifies the appointment of a water treatment plant operator, 2B.
See, this is nice because this is somebody who starts out as a trainee. And the whole idea is when you start out as a trainee to move up the ladder. And that's exactly what's happening here. He's put his time in, he's done the appropriate testing, and now he's eligible to move up. And that's what you hope to promote through your workforce at any level. So we love to see that.
And we want them to keep climbing, which is great.
Absolutely.
Number 28, ratifies a salary increase for a code enforcement officer. Number 29, ratifies the appointment of a call-in food service worker. Number 30, authorizes the town clerk to publish and post notice to bidders for police department marine unit boat and outboard motor maintenance and repair. Number 31, awards bid for propane fuel and equipment maintenance. Number 32, adopts special event Chapter 255 application for Our Future Generation, for us, by us, for all of us.
This is something that's done every year up at Stotsky Park, and we've always supported this in the past, and we'll continue to do it in the future.
Yep, it's a great event. Number 33, amends policy for transfer of funds.
We're changing a little bit. It's going to allow department heads to transfer funds up to $15,000 with financial administration approval and without a reso. We find that as inflation goes up, as cost of products go up, these numbers also have to go up with time in order to make business a little more easier to conduct. So that's all this is doing. It's
Yeah.
just raising the limit a little bit, so it makes it less of a paperwork debacle to get something accomplished.
It's
So
more efficient, and just to dovetail on that, in addition to up to 15, we're also adding a provision here that allows for transfer of funds from 15 to 30, together with the supervisor's signature.
Correct.
So it's
Correct.
just eliminating some bureaucracy for department heads there.
Bill might want to have something here he wants to add to this.
Oh, okay. Hi, Bill.
Just so everybody knows, also in the policy, as it's been, every board meeting when you get your reports, there is a report of any transfer that was made that the board didn't approve, that was either approved by the supervisor or myself. So you get those in your board packet and you're aware of them.
Right. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, Resolution 34 authorizes the sale of banners and brochure ads by the Recreation Department and sets the fees for 2024.
This piggybacks off our last work session where Councilwoman Woski and Councilman Rothwell both decided they would take out ads in the recreation brochure. But more importantly, they're working to sell the ad space to raise revenue, and that they are charging the right amount. They were the charges, the rates were pretty low, and it was nice to hear that there's interest in people still doing this at a higher rate ad, and it increases revenue for the rec department, so.
And I think the board had some good feedback that the rec folks took into account and made the appropriate adjustments as far as.
Correct.
Okay, Resolution 35 authorizes supervisor to execute an agreement with Goodman Marks Associates, Inc. to conduct an appraisal of a leasehold. Number 36, appoints member to the Board of Assessment Review, Hogan.
This was a vacancy on the Board of Assessment Review that we are filling.
Actually, there's a typo in it.
Oh, is there?
It's
Okay.
my name.
Oh, dear. Oh, you're right. Okay, we'll take care of that. Sorry about that. Resolution 37 authorizes execution of incentive proposal for Empire State Development Grant Recreational Complex Feasibility Study at Calverton Enterprise Park.
This was a grant that we got to do a study up at EPCAL at the park to help us decide how it can be best used in the future.
And number 38, amends Resolution 8015 authorizing application for funding through the U.S. Department of Transportation RAISE 2024 grant funding. And we're increasing the amount that we're proposing to match up to $8.5 million so that we, as the town of Riverhead, hopefully are a little more competitive with
The
other
RAISE
municipalities that are competing for the same pot of money.
Absolutely. We need to be as competitive as we can be for this grant, and fingers crossed, we have good feelings, and Dawn Thomas is in the back of the room, and the
Right.
CDA and the work that they've put into this is huge, so we're trying to get it
We got an email while
good
we
as
were
we
here
can.
in work session that evidently County Exec Romaine has pledged his support for the town's application in the RAISE grant, so that's great. We're pleased to have that. We thank the county exec for that.
8.5 million to receive 25 million is a good
Right.
return on investment.
Yeah, I would say so. Okay, 39, and this is the sort of the first piece of the resolution that we spoke about earlier with regard to number 4. So ratifies the rescinding of Resolution 2024-160 and cancels the public hearing regarding a capital improvement for the proposed extension number 99 of the Riverhead Water District for the Maris Farm subdivision and other properties. The board had approved this resolution to go to Publish and Post, and thereafter that was discovered there were some errors, I believe, in the tax map number throughout the body of the resolution, triggered us to have to cancel it and rescind it. So the resolution number 4 in your packet is doing just that. That's the cancellation and the rescind, and then this number 39 is the new public hearing. If I understand that correctly, Counselor, right? Okay. So that's what we have going on there. If anybody has any questions, we can direct those to the town attorney. And we'll move on to number 40, authorizes purchase of one 2024 Kenworth Model T480 dump truck.
It should be noted that the cost of a new dump truck is $278,827.96.
And importantly, that's last year's pricing. It
That
didn't
is
go up,
last
so
year's
that's why we're
pricing,
looking to
and the
move
vehicle
quickly in.
is available,
Right.
which is another problem we have. So the highway department is in need of this, and just pointing out how expensive it is to do business in a municipality.
And we have just one additional resolution that we're adding to the packet. We have copies for the press. And this ratifies rescission of Resolution 2024-109 and cancels public hearing regarding agritourism. The board is aware of that because, of course, we all signed and initialed the rescission. So I'll give a copy of that to the board and also to the press.
Good.
Pass those out. And that's it.
Okay, this concludes our open session of today's work session. Can I have a motion to close the open session and go into executive session?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we will go into executive session. Everybody have a great week, great weekend, maybe a little bit of snow on Saturday, a little bit of a mix, we'll see, but nothing like we had the other day, so.